Well, we're talking to Blair Savage. He's deployed to the Kaslo airport and was working on the Woodbury Fire. There were at least 3 helicopters tasked on that fire, was there not?
Yeah, 3 medium helicopters.
3 medium helicopters, and they were using these Bambi buckets dipping out of Kootenay Lake, and I'm sure the people down near on the lakeshore could see the action going on. And in these days of modern firefighting, the helicopter and the Bambi bucket play a really important role in helping the ground crews suppress the fire. So could you kind of tell us what the cycle is like when you get called? And
well, basically when the hazard arises and there's lightning storms and ignition in the area, they do their fire patrols and look for smoke. And then once they find a fire, then they dispatch whatever resources are necessary. They have usually an intermediate helicopter with a small crew, and then they deploy the medium helicopters with the buckets for support of those crews. If it warrants it, they bring in the Electras and the big planes to drop retardant to create a guard around the fire, and then our function is to cool the fire and hold it until the crews can get a fuel-free guard around it. Also, the helicopters with the long lines and the power-filled buckets, their function is to deal with interface fires around houses and protect values.
so how, like on the interface fires then, in this case here, would you then work out of the Kaslo Bay, or would you be trying to work out of a retardant pit up at the airport here?
We try and source out our water wherever we can, and that's why they use the medium helicopters, which we're packing about 350 gallons at a time. But on other interface fires, I've pulled water out of swimming pools in Oliver in 2003. Whatever you can do to try and protect the values.
And so, do you work, like at the interface level, are you working with the fire chief at that point, or at the incident commander, or?
They set up the Forest Service deals with all of the air operations at that point in time, and they have a liaison that deals with the local fire chief, so that they're working together on whatever objectives they might have.
And so, how many helicopters have you got then that you?
We have 2 helicopters. Our company name is Valhalla Helicopters, and this is what we do in the summer months is we get dispatched by the Forest Service on short-term hires to wherever there might be a need.
And do you do any heli skiing in the winter?
In the winter we do heli logging. It's interesting that this winter we were logging up the Woodbury, and now we're fighting fire there to protect the values as well.
Okay, and so how many pilots do you have? How many mechanics do you have?
We have 3 pilots for 2 machines. We have 3 mechanics, and our duty days, we're usually on duty by 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the evening, and we're on a 5-minute getaway, which means we can be deployed within 5 minutes once they have a target for us.
And so how's your stay in Kaslo been?
Well, Kaslo's a nice little place, for sure. There's a lot of history here. It's very interesting community. People have been really friendly. It's surprising how it's grown as far as getting accommodations, but everybody's been very good as far as helping us move things around and letting us have a place to stay, and it works out well. We'd love to come back here whenever we have to.
Well, we might have some helicopter logging off that fire here this fall. I understand the community forest has an interest in getting some of the cedar values out of there, so it'll be up for bid. You might want to think about that. And what about the airport itself? How does it function in terms of other airports you've worked off of?
It's still you know, a small airport, not really developed as much. I've heard rumor that the airport, or I guess the municipality of Kaslo, is going to be donating some land at the west end of the strip for the Forest Service, so then we'll have more of a base of operations to work out of here, where they could set up more fuel and stuff and not conflict with your recreational traffic that comes in and out of the airport, which will be awesome. Any kind of support that the community can give to that is in their favor, because it's promoting the Forest Service having a base here, which is good for everybody.
Yeah, my sense is if we have the facilities, the Forest Service will come, and in the case of an interface fire, the better prepared we are at the airport to assist and support heli bucketing operations, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah, I've been involved in 5 interface fires over the last 5 years. They're becoming more of they're becoming more common than they were. I've been flying for 21 years now, and the biggest thing for people is to be prepared for that interface fire and be ready. You have to think about it, because when it comes, all you have time to do is to be evacuated and take your whatever belongings you want to take, and with a little bit of preparation you can save your homes or whatever values you might have on your property.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to share your thoughts with us.
Yeah,
and,
no problem.
I realize you're in a hurry because you're going to be in the air going over towards Skelly Creek to work on a big fire over there. So,
yeah, anytime.
Hope you have a good summer, and think heli logging, think heli skiing.
Yeah, thanks
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.